Well, good morning, good morning, good morning to Mark. This is the video that I requested or that I said I was going to make. So here is the step-by-step. I'll just take you through the steps as the video plays. Here's my 2 cups of water. You know the recipe already, so here's 2 cups of water, warm water. I just get it from the tap. Maybe preface this by saying that the kitchen is somewhat warm. I've already warmed up the oven. Let that run for a few minutes beforehand, and then also my bowl, my mixing bowl. I've kind of run the hot water, rinsed it through with some hot water, just to keep the heat. So I went 2 cups of water, and then also the 1 tablespoon of that brand, the Red Star brand yeast. So 1 tablespoon of that. Here comes the sugar. So again, you can go as sweet as you want. This only requires about 1 cup of sugar. So that's what just went in the bowl. And here I am just kind of mixing it up, getting the yeast and the sugar somewhat dissolved into that water. Okay, and then I'm gonna do 1 cup, probably like a cup and a half of flour, just to activate that yeast a little bit. So you'll see, I'll put the camera over the bowl after I mix it, that it's sort of like a milky, looks like a Milky Way, or like a milky consistency. That's just, mixing the flour in that sugary water. And again, I just want to activate the yeast a little bit. And then get your oil. I go a little bit more than a cup and a half, or I go a little bit more than half a cup. It's probably like 3/4 right there. Sometimes when I'm mixing the dough, the oil helps keep everything nice and clean. It doesn't get the dough so sticky and everything's all stuck on your bowl and your utensils. So after I'm done with that, here goes the rest of the flour, which is 6 cups. Actually, six cups total, but we already put a cup and a half. Here I am doing about 5 cups. You'll see that sometimes I don't follow the recipe to the exact T, but if you do, you should be fine. I just kind of sort of eyeball it a little bit. I know I put a little bit extra water. I know I put a little bit of extra oil in there too, so I gotta compensate with just a tad bit more of flour. So you'll see that I put 5 cups of flour in there after my cup and a half that I initially put in beforehand. After that, I just kind of let the machine do the work. You see I put a bread type of mixer attachment on that stand mixer. And here I am just sort of waiting for it, and letting it do its thing. I find that the less I touch the dough, the better. I guess that's just what I've been doing since I've been making bread. But you'll see that I use a rubber spatula right there, and here I am. I'll just go ahead and scrape the sides of the bowl, just help the machine get all that good stuff, get out everything on the sides, because those attachments don't scrape the sides of the bowl. So I'll put it back on the machine for a little bit more, and let it do its thing. Let the machine do the work. If you ain't got the machine, a stand mixer, I highly suggest it, but in the past I've just mixed it by hand with a rubber spatula, scraping the bowl, sort of folding as I go. Scrape the sides of the bowl, fold, and sort of bring everything to the middle of the bowl until I come up with a nice, a nice big lump of dough. The consistency of this dough is going to be a little on the wet side because I put so much water in there. Originally, this recipe was Mara's recipe, and she only requires 1 cup of water. So we had a little bit extra. Like I said, I do 2 cups. And here I am just kind of making a spot for the dough to rise. Again, the oven trick is sort of Mara's thing too, just to keep the kitchen warm, nice and warm. And as long as everything is nice and warm in the kitchen, you should be good. Let it rest for about an hour and a half, and you should be good. We don't use bread pans. We just go ahead and make little loaves and put it on a cookie sheet. Bake it at 375 for about 10 to 12 minutes. Check it and see what it looks like. If you got that nice golden brown color, pull it out. And then as soon as you pull it out, go ahead and take a stick of butter and butter it down. And let the bread rest for a little bit and slice it up. You're good to go. All right, man, hope that worked for you.